Bourret here. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, coming back to my channel. I really want to talk to you guys today about following momentum and sticking to your bias, sticking to your confirm, and some things that can go through your mind and how to identify momentum correctly and how to stick to your confirm. So let's just jump right into it. I'm going to go into replay here. Let me cancel it. Go into replay here. Okay. Boom. We're looking at price for the 6 a.m. push. Now what we want to do is we want to identify our zones, right? We already know this is way too big. We already know. So if we're here, this is where you need to be looking, okay? This is where price is. Just look directly left. You can definitely just see this is a very, very strong zone. Very, very strong supply zone, okay? So what does this come from? What does it look like we're already doing? What is this higher time frame already doing? Tons of structure. At the highest high. This is also this little guy here. So like looking at this time probably would have been in. But I'm not putting it in here. Right? So we're breaking structure, right? Price break structure, retest, making another lower high. We retested the spot that price broke. Price broke here. We retested the spot that price broke. We break structure again. Liquidity. Let me move this over. Low retest liquidity. Another lower high. And this is where this morning comes into play, because yesterday, if you caught placing the pending orders, that's just a whole nother video. Just being able to hedge against yourself. I'll talk about that in another video. But following the momentum, now we have another lower high, right? And we actually have another lower low. Okay. Notice what price did. We completely broke this structure. We came back. We retested the structure that we broke, right? Price will always retest breaks of structure. We're going to talk about what that looks like on the 15-minute. So let's say we are higher time frame confirm for bearish activity, right? Because we're saying that this is bearish. Either we're going to hedge against ourselves and we're going to play sell stops here, which if we're going to play sell stops here, the sell stops are going to be below the wick range, because on the 15-minute you'll see that's the lowest low. But then of course, you can always put a buy stop here as well. And the wick range, you just know that we have this whole wick here just looking left, just this wick here. So this is a potential. So buy stop, you'd have a stop loss, and then of course your TP is going to be in that range. So you still could have hedged completely and not even did anything else just by hedging a higher time frame momentum push. And right, this is for the 6 a.m. push. However, if we are higher time frame confirm and we are hedging, so we put sell stops there, whatever. So let's go look at what the higher time frame is doing now. Or I mean the lower time frame. I got to go back into replay because you have to see what the morning ended up playing out. So this is here, these lower lows and lower highs. We're breaking structure, retesting, breaking structure, retesting, breaking structures, retesting. And then we go into more detail now. And so I actually don't know if I really want to be in this zone. Okay, so this is the complete zone. Okay, but when you're identifying on, let's first go straight into, you know what, I can do the same thing here. You want to see what the lower time frame is doing. Okay. I'm just going to move this over. Just use these ones now. So that's good enough. So we can identify that we have had structure and price has been making lower lows and lower highs all the way down. We do have the EMA cross, tons of retests on the 14. This is not much of detail that matters as much, only when you're identifying the confluence. However, it does help when you want to identify if a trend is still going to continue pushing into that direction. So we definitely had the higher time frame confirm, right? So this whole area is price had come down and then made a pullback. It actually wicked down, then it made a pullback, and now this is the lower high on that 4-hour time frame. So to understand if we're going to continue to go down or not, placing entries is of course going to be the next most important thing. So we are higher time frame confirm going bearish. So where are we going to put our entries at? Well, just by looking at this setup, you first want to identify where your stop loss goes. Because now we can see this range. So we say, well, look, this is 4 a.m., this is 5:30, so it's going to be 5:45, and then 6 a.m. is going to enter into the new 4-hour candle for 6 a.m. push. So you have to be able to identify by looking at this. We have been in confluence. We have been making lower lows and lower highs. We do have the EMA distance that helps. The currency meter would have also been helping at the time because the US dollar had so much more strength than what the euro had. Obviously, see the euro, it's still weak all day, has nothing. So when you see this and we say, well, we are higher time frame confirm, you want to see where the break of structures are. And where those break of structures is where price is going to want to retest, and this is where you can look for your real entries. So price is breaking here, of course, but this is where I want to look because just recently we had all of this, and this is what the morning looked like. So if price is coming up into this range, our stop loss has to be around the wick range looking left on the, I use the 15-minute time frame. So if I look at a 4-hour and I say we're going down, I want to be able to look on the 15 to say, well, where is my stop loss range so I can see where my entry range is. Because if we're higher time frame confirm that we're going bearish right now, then you want to know where the range of the pullback is still, because price is wanting to retest before breaking down. So we can see price is already here. So you could have still, let's say you place sells here, even though all the rejection that it's doing. Look how much potential drawdown you're facing. Already 13 pips drawdown. When if you look here and you say, okay, let me move this out of the way so that you can see it much clearer. You can see where our structure was. So we're going to draw a new box. We're going to say, don't mind these are irrelevant. This box here, really around this range, is where this is where you're going to want to look for entries. Because if we're higher time frame confirm and we're leaving room for price to grab more premium price before continuing into momentum, you want to know where your entries are. A big thing that I do wrong is I rush into confirms, and at least 90% of the time, price is always going into the direction of the momentum when we spot the momentum correctly. But by entering too early, you're going to be suffering the same amount of drawdown to where you're going to be looking to close. You're going to be over it. So when you're changing your entries to the smaller supply and demand areas based off of that 15-minute time frame, that's where the 15-minute becomes so crucial. And then the 5-minute helps aid in sometimes going into making lower highs sooner. So then you can just use the 5-minute to bounce off. But the 15-minute is definitely where we want to be looking to say, this is where we're going to go down. Because, and of course it already happened, and I'm not just Guru Kyle coming out of the woods, but these are things that help us to understand where our entries go. It's something that helps me, and it's mapping out what we've already done. And you guys know my trading plan, how I spot the momentum. We want to see if price is moving in confluence or not. And we want to know that this is the potential range of taking our shorts. Because if we're a higher time frame confirm, this is where price is really going to want to pull back. And if it was going to pull back even further, it would go to here. This would probably be a change of structure, and we would just be making higher highs and higher lows now, going back up into this range. But we are a higher time frame confirm bearish. So this is where your shorts go. So we're going to let price run, and we're going to see how everything is affected. So already by price making this huge bullish push, this is right at this is 5:45. So 6 a.m. hasn't happened yet. So let's go to 6 a.m. It's going to be in just a couple seconds. Pull back, new higher low, right? New higher highs, higher low. Okay, now it's going up. There's a change of structure. This is our short range. This is where we are looking for entries regardless for the change of structure. So let's see how we handle. Okay, we have rejected. I need to go back. We have already tapped the zone, and we know this is the range for our shorts. We know that this is the range for our shorts based off of the area. You see we have this wick range here, and then you're just looking left, and then this. So realistically, my gosh, what's going on here? Oh, I'm drawing. That's why it always does this. I'm so bad at using TradingView, and I use it every day. Give me 1 second. Let me just show you just for the next one. We touch it. This is where our sells are already going. Okay. Look at what the next candle does. We already know that this is the range, and as I was saying earlier, based off of course, this wick range, and then even looking up to the top of here. So this whole zone, just based off the top of this wick range, and then seeing where our previous wicks are, it even could have been like, it's a little too big to be like this, but it's still the range. It's still the potential area that this is where your sell bias. So you're selling the resistance. This is where we're selling. Now, our stop loss originally was already looking here, right? This is already where we're looking for our stop loss. So that's where we're looking for our entries. We want price to reach these major or these minor supply and demand zones and see how they react. Because as soon as we hit this zone, we're going to want to reverse because we're going to want to retest. Before going up, we're going to want to retest. But we're sell confirm based off of 4 hour. Plus the currency meter did help in this situation. It looks different now, of course, because several hours have gone by. But this is our short range. Now let's watch. We're already taking shorts here. And let's talk about this. Excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. Our stop loss originally was here. So now we can see, well, maybe we have a stop loss of like 7 pips now. Just based off of this stop loss wick range, right? Instead of, let's say we take our shorts here, even though you can see this major rejection, and now we're taking a stop loss of up to 14 pips. That's an extreme difference. So we know we're momentum trading and we're following the higher time frames. If we are confirm on this and we want to apply some heavy margin, you're applying heavy margin here as opposed to on the actual resistance when price does come back to these major demand zones and supply zones. This is planning and hunting your trade. Not chasing the trade, but hunting the trade. Knowing where your entries are going to be. So either placing sell limits, you can just watch the chart and just place sell limits. You can look left and say this is where my stop loss is going to go. And then you just drag down and say this is where my take profit is. So my sell limit is here. My take profit, let's say, is 10 pips. Just off a sell limit, trading momentum. And this is my stop loss. Place 5 of them. See how it plays out just by placing a sell limit. Now let's see. Okay. We have already taken full profit just off placing a sell limit following this higher time frame momentum. Okay, already. You've already, whatever the margin you applied on those entries in this time, Following momentum, we know we're shorting this zone. This is the place where price had broken structure. Oh, I always got low percentage. If this was a live webinar, Gabriella would be circling this 5%. She's gonna laugh when she hears this. Hunting our trades. Hunting our trades. There's your sell limit or your selling resistance. So you're already making your sells. This is higher time frame confirm. We are going down. And you know what? Let's say, what if we reject and then we start showing signs of bullish? That is up to your own psychology to understand that you sold resistance, you caught a scalp, let's say it goes 10 pips, 18 pips, whatever, and let's say it just comes back to this zone and we reject to go bullish. You are already in a substantial amount of profit and you did not decide to close. But let's see what it looks like. We sell resistance. We know this is the area that we want to see price react to structure. This is the place price broke. This is where we want price to come back. And I'm going to show you what this looks like on UJ as well. Now we have more lower highs. So we sell, boom. All the profit there, boom. Our momentum trade started at 6 a.m. We had all kinds of higher highs and higher lows, but then our plan is to sell at this zone. This is your plan. Because this is your original stop loss. This is my original stop loss. I'm higher time frame momentum. This is where my stop loss is going to go. This is where I want my take profit to go. If you're placing sell limit, I started becoming very fond of sell limits because I just can place an entry in a market without having to do market execution. And it just works for momentum for me. So just understanding trading this way. So this is price coming back, reacting to your structure. This is where your sells are. We are now an hour and a half into the day, but an hour and 15 minutes after all of your profit was already taken, just going for the 10 pips that I usually like to go for. Actually, you would have caught it sooner because price, if you sold in the zone more as it was still approaching, like let's say you didn't wait for more confirming or you're just selling. Like you always want to wait for candles to close, but if you are shorting, I know savages like that. So just selling resistance, you would have caught a substantial amount of extra pips sooner. It would have been already double. But even if you're waiting, or this is just where your sell limits are in this whole range, even some sell limits up here, maybe these ones don't get hit. But then we close rejecting. Well, there's your market execution on your confirm, right? But check it out. 18 pips already. Okay, now what do we have? Now we have price breaking this, re-breaking this structure now. Now we've created a new lower low. So now what are we looking for? Oops. I shouldn't have been doing it like that. More lower highs. Let's see how price is reacting. So let's pause this real quick. This is the structure price broke. Price broke the structure. So what are we doing? We're coming back and we're retesting the spot that price just rejected. I already had it, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay. This is by 8 a.m. All profit is already taken. No matter how you would have been, however your trading plan is, however you can see and however you can adapt to trading momentum and understanding supply and demand like this. This is stuff that I'm still learning. So I'm sharing it with you guys so that we're all learning together. We're all growing together in this area. That's why I'm posting these videos for free. Now we got the lower high, another lower high. We're already technically done. You've already made all your money. Now, when you already let's say you just keep your stop loss and your take profit. Because you can make your take profits whatever. Some could be 10, some could be 20, some could be 30. Because you have to understand on that 4 hour where we're going to next. Right? That's something I don't have just based off the 4 hour, whatever. Wherever that zone is. But just based off of the 6 a.m. push, we knew that this is the new lower high to keep continuing going bearish. So, price breaks this structure. Now we come back and make a new lower high. Even keeping your stop loss here, you can reduce it Or you can make your stop loss in profit now. Let's say you want your stop loss to be in profit. Let's just say 5 pips. There's your stop loss at 5 pips, entering in this wick range. Now let's see what price does. Still retesting the spot that price broke structure. Still retesting, coming back. Didn't quite fail to break now, but comes back to where price breaks structure, and then there you have it again. Price now dropping. Now you just have 5 pips stop loss in profit, and now look where your orders went. You can obtain all of this just by placing pending orders, looking at a chart, seeing where structure was, drawing up your supply and your demand zones, and just placing a pending order in the market and allowing price to do its thing. Your sell limits, your stop loss, your take profit. Look, it would have hit your sell, your entry, and then just dropped and taken all your profit. How much brain power are you using already knowing what you're looking for? And this is what I'm going to go for. Because now look what price ends up doing. Just creating these other lower lows and lower highs, and you tackled momentum just by sticking to higher time frame confirm. And now look, down to the next. One push, placing a pending order, understanding if we are higher time frame confirm and we are going in this direction, this is what I'm looking for. Understanding the supply and demand a little bit better. And then like lower lows and lower highs. We broke structure, came back another lower high. It just was not done following momentum. The next 4 hour ends up closing strong below structure. So our next zone is, you just look left, and this is our next wick range. That is where your next TP is, in between zones. Would have been like this. Like what it did, came right to it. Boom. In between zones. And right for that 10 a.m. push, all we had, I mean, it was already coming, 9:45. Boom, 10 a.m. drop, make another lower high, then drop again by 11 a.m. By 12 o'clock, everything is done. If you're trading just even the 10 a.m. push. Following the momentum even further. Because now 10 a.m., we're in between the zones. So there's your holy grail, mother of all confirms, being broken past structure in between zones. There's your most confirm that you're ever going to get. Just trading higher time frame here. We already broke. Okay, I'm on for 10. Here's 10. Waiting for the pullback. Look where the pullback comes, and we're just failing to break. Fail to break, fail to break, fail to break. An hour and 15 minutes go by, and we're failing to break. We're going down, right? Only makes sense. Boom. Higher time frame confirm. In between zones. Based off that 4 hour. Let's go look at UJ now. So, same thing. Same thing. Okay. I already had the zones drawn up. Sorry, I didn't really go over that. So sorry for that. But anyways, so the first thing we know and that we're paying attention to is, where is our entries? Because if we're here, and sometimes price is already right now going to make the push. Like maybe we're like this. Maybe this is what price ends up looking like right before like a 4 hour wick to fill or a 4 hour momentum push. Maybe we're already at the pullback and it's already at that zone. And then we're making like a 2-1 confirm just to reject off of it. So you want to keep in mind. But look where we're at. We're on the support. We want to see where these next zones are for where is our entry. So we already know this is my stop loss. If this is my stop loss, that's my entry. This is where we want to be looking for entries. And we want to see how price reacts to the zone. Right? Here's my stop loss already. What the? Oh, I put on draw. Here's our stop loss, just based off of the 15-minute wick range. And then you can look left, you can see, okay, it's a very nice zone. This is where I want to look for entries. So let's say we enter sells here. Let's say we already enter sells here. We don't even wait for any retest. This is my sell. Let's see what we're going to go through. Selling right here. Now I'm hitting play. Okay, price pulls up. Maybe you're putting more sells in here. Maybe more sells. Okay. So now we retested. Now we're pulling down. Now we're in more sells. Now we're in 6 pips of profit now. On the support. Selling just this lower high. Oh, crap. Selling support. Oh, crap. I mean, we were already in 6 pips. Why didn't you just pull? Why'd you confirm so early? These are things that I would do. And so these are things that I don't want you to do. And things that I don't want to do anymore. Is just not waiting a little bit longer just for price to pull back to your desired area. So this is your stop loss. So this is where I want to look for entries. Right? We're already 4 hour. Here's the thing. I didn't walk you through 4 hour yet. That was the first thing I should have done. Oops. I mean, I can hit play. Give me 1 second. Let me just. Okay. This was the 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. So you people that are living in Europe and who can, other parts of the world that you can actually trade the 2 a.m. push. The 2 a.m. push is so beautiful. Sets up so nice for, I can't trade. It's too early in the morning for me. It's 2 a.m. But anyways, here's your 2 a.m. So we say, number 1, identifying where are we. And knowing, shoot, I have everything drawn up. This is where your zone is. The idea is we're already on a zone. Here's your idea. We're not in between zones. We're on a zone. We are on a zone, but we are a higher time frame confirm bearish because we have a huge engulfing candles, but we're sitting on the support. We're sitting on the zone now. This resistance turns support again, right? But we're higher time frame confirm going down. Okay, we're confirm going down. Now we're back at the 15-minute. We're going to make everything else appear, and I'm going to go back into rewind. And this is where we're at. Okay. But I took sales here. Let's say you take sales here, and you're already in a load of trouble. Already thinking the push is coming right now, not waiting just for price to come back to your stop loss. So here's my stop loss. So this is where I want my entries to be. This is where I want my entries to be. Here. We want to see how price reacts to this structure. This is what we want. If we're higher time frame confirm and we are going down, okay, there we go. So boom. We already come in here. So your idea is you already have pending orders. You have pending orders all in this range. Let's say sell stops or sell limits. So now you have a stop loss of 3, but maybe you want to be more aggressive and you say, well, I'm going to look at this wick range. Because now instead of already be in drawdown from entering here, right? Now instead of being in 12 pips drawdown, you say this is where my stop loss already is. So that's where I want to enter. So now we have, if you're entering sales, even market execution on the zone, this is your sell confirm or your sell limits. So now you got just above that wick, the 2, the 3, whatever, maybe 4. So now you got 4 pips rather than 12 pips, number 1. And number 2, this is just where you plan to enter the market. So it comes up, let's say even you're in market execution, yada, yada, yada. Now you got to know, okay, so where are you going to pull? Because it's always, where is your exit strategy? So here's 10 pips. There's your 10 pip TP, hypothetically speaking. You want to catch at least 10 pips, and you leave the rest with stop loss, and then you ride it for maybe 20 and 30, right? You want to capture the momentum. So you want to take your quick 10 pips, but you also want to leave the rest to ride scalp to swing. So we have pending order, sell limits, boom. We're in the market. Let's see, this is where our take profit is. This is our stop loss. Let's just make it above here. Okay, 3.4 pips. Boom. Okay, very close to it. Very, very close to hitting the stop loss at this time, right? But still never hit it, just based off the wick range. If you only made it above this range, and you always want to factor in, of course, spread. That's why for me, I'll go larger. I'll have a higher stop loss range. But just based off this wick range, let's say there's your almost 3.5 pips profit or stop loss, and then you have the 10 pip take profit. So now we're thinking, okay, we're in the market now. Even if you short this, but we want to see how price is going to react to the zone. So this is the spot that price broke structure, right? We boom, new higher low. Now price is making more higher lows. And boom, we're breaking structure now, going bull, right? Boom, breaking the structure. Coming down, price needs to break this structure. We need to break this structure again and continuously making lower lows and lower highs if we are continuing going bearish. But just based off of placing a sell limit in the market, we're already in now. There's our stop loss. Here's our TP. And now we are in 4 pips profit, right? And maybe you adjusted your stop loss in profit 5 pips, whatever, however your trading plan is. Everybody's going to be going through an emotional roller coaster when you trade. Everybody goes through it. Everybody goes through emotional things. So everybody's trading plan and ideas of how they're going to interpret the market are obviously different. But if we have the sell limits, now we're in the market, now we're in 4 pips, but we want to see how price reacts to the zone. Now we're in 4 pips profit, we have the 3 pips stop loss. Now we can say, well, are we closing? Now we're going down some more. Let's see how we react to the zone. This is our new supply here. Now look at what price is doing. Okay. Whoa. Maybe we're changing structure. Maybe this is now really changing structure. This was that higher time frame. This is understanding where you're going to enter into the market and then how these supply and demand zones work. And once price breaks these structures, how it's going to react to the structure price just broke. So we just broke this structure. This is where we're already in the market. Boom, but now we're really starting to change. Whoa. Well, I want you to close your eyes for a second because I'm going to go to the 5 minute and then I'm going to replay and then I'm going to tell you when to open it. So I'm going now. Close your eyes. Okay, you can open your eyes now. This is on the 5 minute. Okay. So what is the 5 minute? Let's just delete some things. So you already know what's going on. You're visualizing it. Now what's the 5 minute doing? Well, the 5 minute's making a ton of higher highs and higher lows. Boom. Broke the structure, higher low, boom. Right? Boom. Now, this was where the sells were. I'm just showing you from earlier. I shouldn't have done that because now I'm confusing you. The higher highs and higher lows, this is directly where we need to start because we're not looking left anymore. We're focusing on right. We already knew where our plan of action was, but now we need to learn how price is respecting that zone. So now look what we're doing. Oh, crap. Now we're breaking structure. Now we broke. Now we're retesting where price broke. Now we broke it again. Now we're retesting where price broke. Well, crap, we're making higher highs and higher lows now. Maybe we need to switch. Maybe you already caught, if you're trading the UJ, the 7 pips drop that it did. Balance your greed. This was still our short. This was still our trading plan. But after price reacted to this zone, this new fresh area, what is it doing? Because we're not in between zones on the higher time frame. We're on a zone. This is a little thing that I've been working on with the group. It's actually not a little thing, it's a really big thing. And that I've been putting in the Google Drive is when you're on a zone and you have the momentum, you have to wait for structure. You have to. If you don't wait for the structure and you enter too soon, so now we got sells here. Let's say now we entered sells here right for 6, and now look how the structure changed. When initially this is already our stop loss, so wait for price to come to your stop loss and then see how it reacts. Rather than riding the psychology of being in, wow, we're in 12 pips DD already. Gosh, that's a lot of money. I'm out. I'm over it. And look at what happened. When we could have just switched and said, we're selling our stop loss. Boom. Now our stop loss is far smaller. You have a better idea of how price is going to react to the zone if we're going to continue going into momentum. And there you have it. Now we have higher highs and higher lows. So what does that look like? What does that look like if we place buys here now? Because now we're buying the higher lows. And where's our stop loss going to be? Below this support. This is where our stop loss is going to be. Our stop loss is right here. Stop loss. And then, of course, you don't want to just blindly be trading because you want to understand where those next zones are. But if our buys are anywhere in this area, we know where the stop loss is. And let's just go for the 10 or our traditional 10. Now what's price doing? Okay, we broke structure. We broke structure. We made another pullback. This is where price broke. What did we do? We came back to where price broke. We made another higher low. Higher highs and higher lows. We're making higher highs and higher lows. I don't want to bring these over, but I will if I have to. I might as well. Because it gets too crammed on the 5 minutes sometimes. High, low, boom, boom, boom. Another high. We broke structure. Now we came back again. But understanding where your stop loss is. So this is where our stop loss range is. Because this is that most recent supply zone that price is reacting to now. Because we already broke it. Now we're reacting to this. And we're on a zone. So was this zone strong enough to handle, to make a rejection? It looks like it is. We made a 2-1 here on the 5 minute, 2-1 on support, boom, boom, changed the structure, and now we reacted to the next structure. Now we had the resistance, now resistance turned support, and it rejected, creating higher highs and higher lows. It changed structure entirely. But we still sold our stop loss, following the plan. This is where the adapting and attacking can come in. Now you're adapting and attacking to the market. Now you're just buying support. Look what happens. Now we end up having a cross and then a retest. Oh my gosh. Still going. Now we're making another pullback. Another pullback. And this zone, because I'm on the 5 minute and that I need to be on the 15 minute because we needed to see off the wick range. This probably made a nice wick range here. That's like a TP zone. Because price is always going to go from support and resistance and just keep bouncing back and forth, going into momentum. Right? But understanding the supply and demand zones, the smaller ones, and knowing where your initial entries are is extremely important. To be able to balance your emotions a lot better. Right, now we broke structure again, and look, we retested structure that we just broke. We just broke it, and we just retested it again. And we're still going. We're at 20 pips. Just following how the market is moving with the market structure on zones during high volatile times. Right? Still going. Still not done. Still going. This is how we reacted to those supply and demand zones. We reached our next zone. So was that support strong enough to handle? Let's clear everything. Go to the 4 hour and see what it did. Boom. Now we have all kinds of higher highs and higher lows up in here. And then now the 4 hour momentum is happening. Now we broke above this whole zone now. So now we're above and now we're in between. Now we're in between zones. Here's your next TP range. Here's your next TP range. Still was a 9 pip push even from that, and actually more if you bought the pullback and just waited for more higher highs and higher lows. Still higher time frame confirm. Now going into the 10 a.m. and it still pushed 12 pips in like that first hour. In and out, done. Higher time frame. Where's the 10 a.m. push? Right here. 10 a.m. made a new higher low. Boom. Since 10 a.m. made a pullback and then just went up the 12 pips on the pullback, making a new higher low. Boom. Continuing into that momentum. Because see, this morning, you would say, well, look how strong we are. We're still going down. Okay, we're higher time frame confirm. So the lower time frame, we knew where we're going to put our either sell limits or we're going to do market execution. So we know what we're doing, and then we're seeing how price reacts to that structure. We completely rejected, completely, as Euro USD completely followed, thus creating even more lower lows and lower highs, following the structure. But what was important was knowing where our entries were initially going to be. This is our initial entry, because based off the wick range. So our sells are here, and then your stop loss is in that range. Okay, I got a 6 pip stop loss on my buys. I've got a 10 pip take profit. Just by selling the zone. Already, you're in control of how much you leverage. You're in control of how many entries you want to place. You're in control of your capital. That's why I like momentum, because I like to trade heavy margin. I like to make money. I like to make it right now. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's really bad if we don't wait. So we need to be waiting. We need to be practicing the patience that nobody has. That is how you set the example for trading in this industry, is just having patience. And something that's really helped me with understanding supply and demand a lot better is knowing where the stop loss is, and that's where my entry is. Our entries are based off of our stop loss. Our stop loss is based off of the wick range. We're higher time frame confirm. This is where we're looking for entry. How did price react to the zone? Well, we just made lower lows and lower highs. We broke the structure. Okay, so what if you ended up waiting all day? Because that would have taken quite a few hours just to wait for that. But by 10 a.m., look, 1 hour before, boom, boom. Following the momentum. And then by the time 4 o'clock or 10 a.m. came, now your zone was here. You broke the structure here, and now you're in between zones. Kind of like how UJ ended up being right there at the end. In between zones, boom. In between zones, boom. There's your big momentum money push. That's what I look for. That's how I hunt. I hope this helped you guys. Hope there are some nuggets you can take out of it. Of course, you guys can follow me on my Instagram if you don't already. Like, I'm all over the place. I'm just... Of course, my Facebook. I get a lot of requests, so if you're adding me from Instagram or Facebook or somewhere else, like, you need to make sure that you send me a message so I at least know like where you came from. Otherwise, I may not even accept you. I'm just like, okay, too many people. I don't want these many people. Just my name, and of course, email. Volkswagen@collect.com. These are the main ways that you guys can, get a hold of me if you guys want to reach out to me. And if you want my WhatsApp, you can just ask me. But I'll see you guys on the next one.